and use them dogs, throw the punches.
All right, the time for talking is over. We are set for tonight's main event for the Strikeforce Women's Bantamweight Championship. In less than 1 year, Ronda Rousey has gone from being known as the first American female to medal in Olympic judo competition to a professional mixed martial artist who has submitted all 4 of her opponents via armbar in a total of just 138 seconds. Think about that. Her skills in the cage and on the microphone have earned her a shot at Strikeforce Gold. The champion, Miesha Tate, is a 4.5-year veteran of the sport. 8 of her 12 wins have come inside the distance, including her championship win over Marlis Kunin last summer. She doesn't think that Rousey deserves the title shot, and she is relishing the opportunity to punch Rousey in what Tate refers to as her big mouth.
My dad always told everybody that I was going to win the Olympics one day. I was going to be the best in the world. I tried twice, and I fell a little short. I feel like winning this belt and finally being the best in the world is the best thing I can do to honor him.
When I got the submission over Marlis Kunin, I really got it sunk tight. I heard her stop breathing, and that was probably the most beautiful sound I've ever heard, was just the silence and the crowd cheering.
What a performance by Miesha Tate!
Everything about her is better on paper. Her fights look better on paper. Photos look better on paper than she does in person. Her trash talking looks much better on paper than it actually is if you listen to her talk.
No talking happens in the cage. It's time to shut up and throw fists and see who really has the heart and the will. You know, you can talk all you want, but actions speak louder than words. My first Strikeforce fight, that flying armbar that I did.
Wow, there it is, looking for the armbar.
I never practiced it once in my life. Just for some reason, I see.
I will have the better, more well-rounded game, and I think that wrestling trumps judo 9 times out of 10.
Whenever she is forced to look me in the eye, I see her shrink a little bit.
I just want to see her break inside the cage.
Every other person that I fought knew what was going to happen, and they couldn't do anything about it, and there's nothing she can do about it.
And now, please welcome to the cage, the undefeated women's bantamweight challenger, Ronda Rousey.
Rowdy Ronda Rousey making her way to the Strikeforce cage. She instigated the verbal sparring, but now it is put up or shut up time for the challenger, who has ran a roughshod throughout her entire opposition in MMA. 4 wins, 4 armbar submissions. She started drilling armbars with her mother, Anne Maria, the first American woman to win a World Judo Championship when she was just 13. Her father, her late dad, always knew that she was destined for something special. She didn't win an Olympic gold medal, but did medal at the Olympics. A world championship would be just fine.
Absolutely, and you know, motivation comes in a lot of different forms for a fighter. Her background, her memory of her father has obviously served as a big fire to light her up, and Miesha Tate's argument with her has certainly stoked the fire a little bit more.
Yeah, we haven't seen a lot of striking or stand-up from Ronda Rousey, but something unique about her style, her judo style. It gives her a beautiful left hook that ends her in the perfect grip and throwing position. That's what she's done to all the other girls. She's put her hip inside, she's got herself a judo throwing position, and then she's been able to push forward and back and manipulate the center of those girls' balance. If she can do that in this fight, up inside of Miesha Tate, I think she's going to toss Tate right in her butt.
She has been a fighter all her life. She was born with the umbilical cord wrapped around her neck. She had to be resuscitated, did not speak really clearly until the age of 6. And now here she is on the verge of becoming Strikeforce Women's Bantamweight Champion. Yes, she has talked the talk, but so far she has also walked the walk. I cannot wait for this championship fight.
And now, the defending women's bantamweight champion of the world, Miesha Tate.
Strikeforce Women's Bantamweight Champion Miesha Tate started training MMA at the age of 17, riding a 6-fight win streak. A woman who has definitely tried to do her best to represent MMA both as a female and a fighter. She has been very outspoken about the fact that she feels that Rousey is just in it for herself. She's not here to help the sport grow. and she was very offended by, well, many things that Rousey said and tweeted, but the one that really got under her skin were a couple. The one that Rousey said, it took me 6 months to do what Tate has taken 6 years to do. And Rousey also claimed she could beat up both Tate and her boyfriend, professional mixed martial artist Brian Caraway. She's done all she can to get under the skin of the champion.
Well, and I think she's done that. Tate is very motivated for this fight. Tate, with her wrestling background, feels very confident in matching it up against, no matter how high the judo level is, she feels her wrestling can back her words up tonight.
She's used that wrestling to beat down a lot of girls. And even in her last fight, when she won the title against Marlos Kunin, she was back mounted, she was figure forward, she was in bad submission positions. She fought her way out and got in top position, got back to her feet. Miesha Tate is comfortable fighting off submissions. She's very confident, knows where the angles are. But can she fight off the submissions from an Olympic caliber judoka? That's the question.
Let's not forget about Miesha Tate striking. She has been working with Muay Thai master Melcher Manor, who is in her corner. He says that Tate has good core power and that she hits harder than another female mixed martial artist and former Muay Thai fighter that he's worked with in the past, none other than Gina Carano.
Yeah, that's saying something.
Former Strikeforce Women's Bantamweight champion Sarah Kaufman waiting in anticipation, waiting with bated breath. I know she has her sights set on facing the winner of this main event, and boy, does this main event have a tough act to follow as Kaufman and Davis engaged in one of the more memorable battles so far this year.
Let's take a look at the numbers between Tate and Rousey in this championship fight here tonight. Tate is 1 year the senior of Rousey. Tate has a half-inch height advantage, but it's Rousey with a half-inch reach advantage. Pretty even there. Both weighed in at 134.5, but Rousey, coming down recently from 145 pounds, naturally is probably the bigger girl.
And now, with the official introductions for this, one of the most anticipated female mixed martial arts battles in history, none other than the great Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Nationwide Arena as Strikeforce and Showtime present the featured bout of the evening. We are sanctioned by the Ohio Athletic Commission. Executive Director is Bernie Profato. All right, fans, here we go with the main event of the evening. 5 minute rounds for the Strikeforce Women's Bantamweight Championship of the World. And now, ladies and gentlemen in attendance and MMA fans joining us around the world, live from Columbus, Ohio, it's showtime! Introducing to you first, on my left, fighting out of the blue corner, standing at 5 feet 6 inches, she weighed in at 134.5 pounds. With a storied background in judo, she is undefeated in her MMA career with a record of 4 wins, no losses, all 4 wins coming by way of first round submission. Fighting out of Venice, California, please welcome the 2008 U.S. Olympic bronze medalist in judo, the undefeated challenger, Rowdy Ronda Rousey. And her opponent across the cage, fighting out of the red corner. Standing at 5 feet 6.5 inches, she weighed in the same as her opponent, 134.5 pounds. A long-time wrestling standout, her MMA record stands at 12 wins, 2 losses, with 3 knockouts and 5 submissions. Fighting out of Yakima, Washington, and tonight making the first defense of her title, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Strikeforce Women's Bantamweight Champion of the World, introducing Miesha Tate Down Tate.
Yeah, let's do it, baby. That's you.
And our referee in charge, now to give instructions, Mark Matheny.
Okay, fighters, you know the rules. We went over them earlier. I expect you to fight according to those rules. I also understand we are not touching gloves. I need you to go back to your corner because when we're coming out, you guys are going to be getting it on.
No glove lost between the champion and challenger. The eyes of the MMA world are watching this fight, and we welcome all the brave men and women serving around the world watching on the American Forces Network. We hope you enjoy tonight's main event.
You ready? You ready? Let's fight!
Referee Mark Matheny calls for the bell, and we are underway, and immediately Miesha Tate comes out swinging.
Miesha Tate with the first strike.
And the takedown by Rousey. Tate on her back in the red gloves, Rousey in the blue gloves, and Rousey immediately looking to move into side control.
Tate stuck her with a good shot, and Rousey got in a hurry to get that takedown.
Okay, Tate's working really hard on her striking, but she pushes her punches. That's what drove her forward into Ronda's position there.
Rousey on top of Tate in cross-side position, dropping some hammer fists, grinding away with the elbows. Rousey's longest fight has been 49 seconds, a win over Charmaine Tweet in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. And there she's looking for the armbar in the opening minute of the fight.
It's dislocated already, I thought.
Hammer fist to champion's head. Ronda Rousey now looking for the omoplata. Tate recovers nicely. What an opening minute here in Columbus.
Her arm looked in serious trouble there. I don't know how damaged it is.
And Tate now has the back of Rousey. And it is already the longest fight of Ronda Rousey's career. Tate looking for the back, now has her hooks in.
Beautiful job of pulling her down and getting the back. That was incredible, Frank.
That was nice.
5 of Tate's 12 victories have come via submission.
Ronda's
a
calling out.
decorated wrestler in high school, wrestling with the boys, winning a state title in Washington.
Needs to get hand control on that arm that Rousey's using to pull that foot out repeatedly.
How crazy was that? Rousey looking for the armbar again in the opening minute of the fight. The champion survives. And now Tate has Rousey against the fence. Rousey on her feet.
Tate's won numerous championships in grappling, showing she knows how to hang with an Olympian on the ground.
2 minutes gone in this main event. We are scheduled for 5 5-minute rounds for the Strikeforce Women's Bantamweight title. Tate looking for the rear naked choke. Rousey wearing Tate like a backpack there momentarily, trying to scramble, trying to reverse. Backdoor escape by Rousey, now in top position, back on her feet. Midway through round 1. Tate in the butt scoop position, now lunging forward, looking for the takedown. And they clinch.
Big throw coming, I think. Rousey's looking for it.
Tate's using a lot of strength, back strength, to stay strong in this position.
Knee to the thigh, there's the trip. Wow.
Do not hold the cage.
Nice job by Rousey pushing off on the cage to come back up. Smart.
North-south position, but Tate has a hold of Rousey's head. Now they break apart, and it's Rousey striking the 1-2. Tate moving forward.
Now, Rousey's got a nice long jab, but she leaves her chin up tall, and she stands up straight when she throws it. Leaving her
Left
vulnerable.
hand by Tate. Backs up the challenger. Back to the quick, and there's that judo hip toss by Rousey. As we're in a side headlock now. 1 minute 25 seconds left in the first round. Back and forth battle thus far between champion and challenger. Rousey now in cross-side position, trying to transition to mount the champion, putting up that right leg to block her from doing so. But no, she has full mount. Now ground and pound. And Tate gives up her back.
Looking for the arm again for a second there. Tate's got to get herself moving and get out of there. The ref's going to step in.
Rousey going to work on the champion from her back.
Looking for the arm again. Here she goes.
And again now transitioning to the arm. Less than a minute remaining in the first round. Ronda Rousey extending the arm.
She's got to squeeze her she's going to break it.
It's over! Rousey has done it! 5 professional fights! 5 first-round armbar submissions! Ronda Rousey is the new Strikeforce Women's Bantamweight Champion! She backed up all the trash talking. What an athlete! What a victory!
That was an incredible fight, and Tate took her deeper than anybody else has. Tate showing she's a world-class grappler also, but paying the ultimate price there with that one. Her arm is wrecked, Frank.
Yeah,
And somewhere Ronda Rousey's father has to be smiling as she has done it in her 5th professional fight. Unbelievable what we've just seen. And of course, Sarah Kaufman smiling as she will now anticipate a date with the new champion. Can you believe it, guys? 5 fights, 5 first-round submissions, including a win here over the champion.
Yeah, it was an amazing match to watch. The technique that was going on, the battle back and forth, the grappling. It was high level, very high level.
very high level. I'm really impressed with Ronda Rousey. You know, the one thing I saw that she needed was a little more improvement on the stand-up striking. Coming along just fine. She threw the strike. She wasn't afraid to exchange. And boy, is she dangerous on that arm. She popped that capsule.
There's doctors now tending to the former Strikeforce Women's Bantamweight Champion, Miesha Tate. We do not know the extent of the injury to her arm, if there is any, but she is being looked after now. And meanwhile, Rousey being congratulated by her team.
I think the damage has been done. Her left arm's trashed. It was
Popped the first time. It looked like it.
yeah.
Was just...
The first one looked like it did damage. It's yeah. That arm is going to be trashed for
She
a
took
while.
her nickname from pro wrestling great Roddy Piper, but there is no doubt about it. She is the armbar assassin.
Now the fight started in an absolute slugfest. Miesha Tate taking the center and just teeing off on Ronda Rousey. I don't think Ronda thought she was coming that strong. Landed a good right hand, landed another short right hand, forcing Ronda to really get into that clinch position, which she was able to reverse. Just great hips on that Ronda Rousey.
Yeah, very powerful also.
And staying tight up on the upper body. She was able to get her hips up on that first armbar, and Pat, I thought she had it. I thought
It looks like her arm's in trouble right here. I mean, that arm is
just
really
creeping me
getting
out.
torqued on pretty hard.
Well, Miesha Tate turning into it hard, driving. See, I thought it popped right there. I have no idea how Miesha stayed in there, pushed through the pain, and she got out of this one, but she couldn't get out of the one that finished her off. And look at the double arm lock that Ronda Rousey has. That's all of her body weight and power and leverage to pull those arms apart. Once it was straight, I mean, I was begging for Miesha to tap because this position is just killing me to see this.
Hey, I'm not overly enthused about seeing this replay, to be honest with you.
But I mean, it's totally locked. You see Miesha bridging into it, trying to relieve the pressure. That arm just keeps bending. And she had to tap. I mean, she had to tap.
The arm's gone right there. It's going the wrong direction.
But Miesha will not give up. You know, she broke her leg on that boys wrestling team in high school, and she came right back and kept wrestling. This girl is tough.
A lot of heart, a lot of heart. Incredible fight between these two, Frank.
Beautiful. And you know, it really shows where the women are going. Look at Miesha Tate's face. Look at the pain on that. I mean, ouch. Hey, she did not want to tap. Look at that arm.
Yeah.
It's hurting my elbow just to look at it.
That's terrible. Oof.
And let's take it up to Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the time of 4 minutes, 27 seconds in round number 1. An armbar ends this contest as the fighter taps out. She is the winner by way of submission. She is still undefeated. She is the new Strikeforce Women's World Bantamweight Champion, Ronda Rousey.
An amazing fight, an amazing performance. It is hard to believe that 5 professional bouts, 5 first-round armbar submissions. I know that you wanted to dedicate this to your father. Congratulations on an amazing victory tonight. A lot of people felt that maybe you didn't deserve the shot. I think they believe now.
Yeah, I didn't talk my way into that one. But I just want to say thank you to all my coaches, my teammates, my family, and most of all to my dad, wherever you are. I hope that you see this. We all miss you, we love you, and this is for you. I hope you're proud of me.
What do you think about the champion's performance as well? It was a fantastic first round. Obviously the longest fight of your career, but you did it again.
Yeah, she was much more, savvy on the ground than I anticipated. But, she's good, she's legit, but I don't feel that bad about it.
What about Strikeforce, former Strikeforce women's bantamweight champion Sarah Kaufman with an impressive win tonight, one of the best female fights we've seen on the undercard against Alexis Davis. Is that the next person in line? Would you welcome that opportunity?
Yeah, I would welcome it for sure. I was really impressed by her performance with both of them. I'm really glad to see the ladies bring it. So whatever the fans want to see, I feel like Sarah Kaufman thought she got cheated out of this title shot. So I think it's the right thing to do to give her the next one. But it's all up to Strikeforce.
Now, what about all the trash talking, bad blood? We know in this sport, the squeaky wheel sometimes gets the grease. You got to sell the fight. But is there legitimate animosity? Do you now? Can you squash the beef with Miesha Tate?
You know what? I was willing to give her the benefit of the doubt before since I kind of started it. But after the weigh-ins, when she got in my face and I pushed her back and she said that I should be fined for headbutting her, I thought that was kind of if you're going to try and act hard, just follow up with it, dude. Don't pull it back and be like, oh, you should get a fine. I thought that was kind of messed up.
All right, let's hear it for the new Strikeforce Women's Bantamweight Champion, Ronda Rousey. Let's bring in the former champion, Miesha Tate. Miesha, just a fantastic opening round of back-and-forth action. What happened to the arm? Are you okay?
I mean, it's a little sore, but you know what? I came here to put on a fight. I really didn't like her, so I wanted to come out here and come out hard. Got a little overzealous. She caught the arm. I got to give her respect. I do respect her as an athlete. Thank you, guys.
All right, that is the former Strikeforce Women's Bantamweight Champion, Miesha Tate. Congratulations to both athletes. And again, your winner and new Strikeforce Women's Bantamweight Champion. Let's hear it for Rowdy Ronda